It's important to understand what's going on nationally, but for your decision making and understanding what's going on in your market, it's the local numbers that really tell the story and make the difference.
We don't invest how we want to. We need to invest how the data tells us to. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys have to adapt. Hey everybody, welcome back to the REI Funding Partners channel. Here with Ray Burkhalter. Thanks for joining us, Ray.
Absolutely, excited to be here.
So we are bringing you another market update. This is becoming one of our most exciting videos. You and I both like to kind of geek out over data, and that's very important to investors out there watching. You've probably seen the video prior to this going over data. We were just talking before this about how there's actually you can see in the national headlines that there is a little scare about the real estate market. It's a slowdown, it's a pullback. But as we discussed that, you and I both know, and a lot of investors that we talk to, is you got to take that with a grain of salt.
It's important to understand what's going on nationally, but for your decision making and understanding what's going on in your market, it's the local numbers that really tell the story and make the difference and help our investors make decisions on buy, sell, which price point, things like that.
Exactly. And so we know that real estate is hyper-local, and we are local to Alabama. We deal specifically in Alabama. We'll go into Tennessee lending a little bit, but we like to stay up to date. We have conversations with our customers regularly that we're partnering with them. We want to help them make good decisions, and having this data, because I'm an investor, you're an investor too. There's a price point in here that I want to point out later that I'm getting into because of data. And so we're happy to bring this data to you. If you want to see more of these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if there's data that we don't have here that you want to see in future videos, please leave a comment and let us know what you want to see, and we'll go and tackle it.
Yeah. And special thanks, anything that we do that's significant typically comes about because of a team effort. And so we're going to highlight some real estate agents here that are interested in supporting investors. And they have kindly provided this data because they want you guys to have you to know the pulse of what's going on in the markets that you're working in.
Yes, real estate is a team sport. These are real estate agents that we have personally used, that we know and we trust, and they're great to work with investors. And we're going to go ahead and do that, starting at the top of the state, Madison County. And Debbie Robertson is with Keller Williams. She is awesome. She works with investors all the time. She has personally sold one of Tanner and I's properties. She goes to the meetups up there. She sponsors one of the meetups. She's a rock star. So thank you, Debbie. If you're looking to buy or sell in North Alabama, please reach out to her. Cannot recommend her enough. So she's provided us the data.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to go kind of down through the things that we have seen that's changed. We're not going to kind of go over what's not, stay the same, but what's changed. So this is specific to Madison County. We're looking at July 24 versus July 25. So go ahead, Ray. What do you see here that kind of stands out to you?
Yeah, well, again, if we say, okay, here's a lot of data, what's really important? We do want to see a little bit of what hasn't changed to say what's staying consistent, because as you mentioned with the national news, it could have people thinking, real estate values are plummeting. People may have seen headlines like that, and maybe in some areas that's true, but what we can see in Huntsville, for example, the data that you'll see on the screen there is average sale price, very close to the same. Average price per square foot, very close to the same. So home values in Madison County, according to the data, are staying very close. There's no sharp drop off there. And in fact, no drop off at all. And price per square foot, a slight decrease in the average sale price, but home sales are staying strong. The number of homes that sold, they were down year over year. Mm-hmm. So the volume of homes that are moving through the system are less, but the values are holding pretty strong.
Exactly. What I see here is still a very strong and balanced market almost. And when we look at a seller's market to a balanced market to a buyer's market, typically 0 to 4 months of supply is a seller's market. 4 to 6 months is a balance, and then 6 above is a buyer's. We're still hovering on the seller's balanced market. So it's still a very strong market. Like you said, prices are staying the same. It's just taking a little bit longer to sell it. A couple more days, couple more showings, but still strong. And we're recording this one day after the news announced that the Space Force, the presidential administration announced the move of the Space Force to Huntsville. That's 30, we don't know the full details, but 30,000 jobs.
It's going to be really interesting to watch this data over the next 6 to 12 months.
And
how does this change?
We're going to be bringing that to you. We are going to be at the forefront, figuring out what's going on. That, in my opinion, it's going to be, it's not going to just be a shock value. That'll be slowly gradual for a decade, probably.
Yeah.
Just slowly injecting into the market. But it's a good thing nonetheless. I don't see any negatives if you're a real estate investor with Space Force coming.
Yeah.
Maybe that you would have gotten
hard
before. But
great time to buy home.
That's right. Well, thank you, Debbie, for providing that data. We're going to move south as we go down I-65, and we're going to land ourselves in Jefferson County, which is the Birmingham metro, where we do a lot of our business. And where I'm from, we're based in Tuscaloosa, but again, we lend all over state. We do a lot in Jefferson County. And Adam Snow, the realtor here with eXp, he's a customer of ours. He helps buy and sell houses for our and other customers. He does it all, and so he's providing the data here. So thank you so much, Adam. Again, if you're looking for a good investor-friendly agent in the Birmingham metro area, it's Adam Snow. So thank you, Adam. Very similar here. We're actually going to have a little bit more detailed data here for Jefferson County, thanks to Adam. He went above and beyond. And since we do a lot here, we want to kind of provide a little bit more extra data. So on this first page, Ray, what kind of stands out to you?
Interestingly enough, we were just talking about kind of the hot market, somewhat hot, still on the border of being a seller's market in Madison County. But the days on market there were actually higher than here in Jefferson County. So we're looking at year over year, still in the 30-ish range, right? Still under 40 days average on the market. So it's still, if you've got your home price right, it doesn't take that long on average to sell your properties in Jefferson County. The number of closed sales actually went up year over year from 807 to 812. The sale price to list price, it is really close there. The average sale price is up. So that probably gets skewed a little bit because of some of the higher priced houses selling. It doesn't necessarily mean that house values are climbing significantly. But again, holding firm, not losing value as you might, hear again, almost national headlines. Oh, house prices are falling. Not in Madison County, not in Jefferson County.
Yeah, that's right.
So, those are good things for real estate investors to know, because you need to be able to see a slowdown coming.
Mm-hmm.
You need to see, as a real estate investor, when that months of supply is really starting to stack up and the average days on market is longer, because especially, a lot of our customers are buying these houses to fix and resell them and add to the inventory. Well, it makes a difference if it's going to take your house 90 days to sell compared to 37 days to sell. There's a holding cost on there. So, knowing these numbers and seeing, when it starts to be a good time to maybe back off of flipping houses a little bit and maybe holding some more or looking at some other strategies.
Absolutely. Going over to his next page, which I thought was pretty interesting. We've got 3 total pages for Adam here. A little bit more in-depth data. He gave a kind of a breakdown for Jefferson County of number of beds, 1, 2, 3, and 4, with the amount listed, the amount sold, average sale price, and days on market. So we won't go too much into this slide, because what I want to talk about is on the third page, and it correlates to what's on the third page.
But as investors, check this out, because you can see, how many properties of each type is listed. As you expect, 3-bedroom homes, make up the most of it. But really interesting, as you're diving into this data yourself, to see that sale price to list price, there's some of them that are under 100%, especially like the 1-bedrooms are lower. Mm-hmm. So good data there to dig into.
So on the next page with Adam, this is something that we started to notice, and not only Adam provided this data for Jefferson County, but back at the Madison County Real Estate Meetup, Debbie a couple months ago provided the same data, which was a sale breakdown with days on market versus the price range of the house.
Right.
Just a year ago, from our perspective, if you had a house that was under the $300,000 ARV range and below, just a year ago, we were seeing those houses move more quickly. The days on market were less than a higher priced home. Now in 2025, just 1 year later, we see the inverse of it. And here, Adam is showing that for Jefferson County. It's the same in Madison County. We don't have that in this presentation, but it's the same in Madison County that if you have a priced house above 300, that is significantly less days on market than a house under 300 market value. So this is a pretty striking data. Not only that, they're selling for closer to list price than a lower priced home. So I've actually, Tanner and I, we just closed on a house in Inverness that we're currently flipping. It's the highest capital intensive flip that we've done, but it's an ARV of 650. And looking at this data,
it's really good spot.
Really good spot. And that was specific. Like this was just using data to make decisions. As I'm involved, I've gotten more aware that I need to do that. I'll be the first one to tell you that I've made a bunch of mistakes, but as I grow, data is super important. We don't invest how we want to. We need to invest how the data tells us to. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to adapt. And so what the market's telling us is it's not that $300,000 houses are bad. It's just if you want to sell something quicker, you may need to be in a higher price range. So thank you, Adam, for showing that. Very important. And we have a new county that we're going to go over this time. It's Montgomery County. So we hope to bring you a lot more cities across Alabama, but we do a lot of lending in Montgomery. We have some great customers there. And Michelle Rawls Burnett gave us this data. She just got married too, so shout out to Michelle. Thank you so much. So used to be Michelle Rawls, now Michelle Burnett. So congratulations to you. I've met her at a couple of Montgomery real estate meetups. She works with a lot of our customers. And so thank you so much for providing this data. And so as we go over Montgomery, just kind of from my perspective, a lot of our customers in Montgomery are doing burns there. You can definitely do flips in Montgomery, but just from our perspective, we see a lot of refinances.
Yeah, the rent to cost ratio there is really good for buy and hold strategies.
Yeah.
Like Burt. So that's one reason that, even out of state people like to look at Birmingham, but also Montgomery, because you can just work for the dollars and then for the rent, you can get a better house there.
That's right. Which strikes me, as I look at Montgomery data, it goes back to what we just said. You're automatically going to see the average days on market almost double Madison and Jefferson County with 77. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's a completely different market. And what I would lean into being more a rental market for an investor's sake.
But what investors can note from that, it's a higher number, yes. But if you look year over year, it stayed the same. So
stable.
Real estate investors like to see some kind of stability. And so even though it's a different number than the other cities, it's staying.
Along with that too, the average sales price, $28,000 more than the year before. Strong. That's an indicator of a very strong market. same days on market.
Well, the number
higher
of closed
price.
sales are almost identical, 211 to 212. So again, it's a different market and how long it takes to sell a property and your price points, yes, but man, you couldn't get much more stability than days on market being identical and closed sales being almost the same with your prices not different, right? So yeah,
Yeah, here in Montgomery, very stable,
still
very
a
strong.
good time to buy rental properties there.
Yes, so thank you, Michelle, for providing that data. And if you're in Montgomery, reach out to her. She's great. She understands investors. So as that wraps up this market update, be on the lookout for future videos. We love to bring you this content. Our goal here on this channel is to provide value to you, bring you data to help you make better informed decisions. And please hit that like and subscribe button. This gets that out to more people. And again, please let us know if you want to see data that we're not providing. Leave a comment and let us know about that.
And one little bonus graphic I'll throw in at the end. We have a new lending software, and it shows a map with little push pins of where the properties are that we have funded. So we'll get a screenshot and drop that in just so you guys can see across the state where the loans that we have funded right now. We've got over 100 loans in the state of Alabama, and just to share that.
Yeah, share that. And hey, if you're looking to do any fix and flipping or burrs in the state of Alabama or Tennessee, please reach out to us. We have a quick app in this video. We'll hop on a phone call, go over your goals, and we'll try to help you as best we can. But thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.
Take care.